Welcome to Half Pint Cooking. Today we are going to make chocolate gooey yummy cupcakes for their birthday. Their birthday is today and they turned 1. So we're gonna make cupcakes for the rest of us to enjoy because we already made their cake for them to smash and dig into it themselves. Okay, so first of all, you need a whole bunch of ingredients for this. We need a chocolate cake mix. You can use any kind of chocolate cake mix that you want. All of them taste pretty good. Today we have Devil's Food chocolate cake mix. So Jules, why don't you add this to the bowl? We are gonna use our mixing bowl with the whisk. So why don't you open that? And also we wanna turn our oven to 350 degrees. So I'm gonna do that while she gets this going. Okay, so she's gonna dump this cake mix in right into the bowl. And we're gonna mix that with, remember she's throwing it in the garbage because we clean up as we go, right? So this is just a small package of the instant chocolate pudding mix. Then we have a 1/2 cup of sugar. We're gonna put the top on and we're gonna mix. Just to get that mixed in there. So we're gonna add water. This is 3/4 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of oil. Cover it up again and we're gonna turn it on. Just let it mix for a little bit. So while this is mixing, we're gonna take the top off and we're gonna add 1 cup of sour cream. Now you don't have to dump it in all around because that's what the mixer does, is it mixes it for you. Use the spatula. Okay, while it mixes, we add 1 egg at a time, and we have 4 eggs here. So we're gonna add 1 egg at a time. Okay, when you crack an egg, you crack it on the side, hard, hard, hard.
Oh my gosh.
Put your thumb inside, break it open. So it's a good idea to crack your egg in a separate bowl first in case you get any crack of the egg inside. So look, she got a little piece of there, so you're gonna reach in with your finger and try to grab it out because you don't wanna eat eggshell. Okay, got it. So we're gonna do that 4 times. We're gonna dump it in. Let it mix while we do another one. Yeah, it's looking really good. Now today I've got my Bosch mixer and I'm using this and I love it. It is so nice. But you can use whatever mixer you have. Even if you have a handheld mixer to mix this, that works great too. I just love the Bosch. You can wash your hands. But if you can see, it gets on the side here a little bit, so you want to just make sure that it gets all mixed in. The Bosch does a pretty good job with this. Want to make sure. Okay. Now this has a lid to it too. So whenever I'm mixing with it, I just put my dirty spoon on the lid so I'm not getting my counter dirty or getting anything else dirty. Okay, so we're gonna turn it back on. And we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're just gonna let that mix for a little bit. Now we have 1 cup of chocolate chips. You can use semi-sweet, milk chocolate, whatever. Even if you wanted to use white chocolate chips, I'm sure that would be good. But why don't you put it in? You can put it in. Okay. I think it's ready.
That looks so good.
Now this is really good to eat and it tastes really good, but it has raw egg in it and that means the egg is not cooked and sometimes that can make you really sick. So before you do it, make sure it's okay with an adult before you lick the batter. Eat the whisk. So the next step is that you want to put your cupcake liners inside of your cupcake tins. This is going to make quite a bit. It will make 24. And you can even make more big ones or you can make some little ones. So we're gonna fill up all of these and then with whatever we have left, we're gonna use to make some mini cupcakes. So if you don't have enough cupcake tins, then you can bake them and when they're done baking, you can do it again and just add more. Okay, so you can buy these mini cupcake liners as well. But we're not gonna do any of those yet because we wanna see how much we have left over. So let's start doing this. The best way to do cupcakes is to use an ice cream scoop like this. So it's about the perfect amount if you just dig in, brush it against the side and it's nice and clean, and then you just plop it inside, and that is about the perfect amount. Even maybe a little less, that might be a little too much, but we're okay. So we're gonna go ahead and fill up all of these cupcakes. Okay, so we got 24 filled and we still have this much left. Now this doesn't look like a lot, but when you're filling up these mini cupcakes, you don't need very much. And so this will probably still give us about 12 more cupcakes. So I'm gonna put 12 liners in my little cupcake tin, and we'll see if we need to add more, and if not, we'll take them out, it's fine. Now for the mini cupcakes, I use this little one. I have several different sizes. This one is just perfect for the little cupcake tins. You can buy these anywhere, and we'll have a link to them on our website. Okay, so we were able to get 16 mini cupcakes in addition to our 12 full-size cupcakes. So we have a lot of cupcakes today, and the one thing that I really love about cake and these cupcakes is that they freeze really well. So whatever you don't use, you know you're not gonna have a big party, or you know you don't need all of them, it's still okay. You can just put them in a bag and you can stick them in the freezer, and then whenever you're ready to have more, you just pull them out of the freezer and put your frosting on, and they taste so good. The frosting that we're gonna make today is actually really good frozen too. So you can even have them iced and stick them in the freezer. Just make sure you don't squish them, and it will be so good. So our oven's not quite ready yet. So while this oven is getting ready and we're baking these, we're gonna make the frosting, and we're also gonna clean up our mess. To make this frosting, it's called ganache. And so what ganache is just chocolate and cream. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put 1 cup of cream into a pan, and we're gonna bring it to a boil. Okay, it's starting to simmer a little. We want it to simmer all the way around and through the middle until we know that this cream is really warm. Okay, it's boiling enough. Now we're gonna turn the heat off, and we're gonna put 2 cups of chocolate chips in here. I have semi-sweet chocolate chips, and we're just gonna let that sit for a little, and the heat from that cream is gonna melt this chocolate. Now you can let this sit for a few minutes, or you can start stirring it whenever you want. We let that sit for about 30 seconds. And it looks like there's too much cream, but just wait as we keep stirring what happens. It's looking good. I'm gonna show you 2 ways that you can use this. I'm gonna put just a little bit in this bowl. And in this bowl, we're gonna dip the cupcakes. As soon as they're cooled down, we're gonna dip them right in here, and it's gonna cover the cupcake nicely. With the rest of this, we're gonna put it in a bowl, and we're gonna put it in the fridge, and we want it to cool down. Or you can let it sit out on the fridge for several hours and it will cool down enough. Then we're gonna use a hand whisk, and we're gonna whisk it, and it's gonna get all more like a mousse color, and it's so good. Okay, our oven just beeped. We did take the mini cupcakes out already. Those ones took 12 minutes, so set your timer for 12 minutes on those. So you don't want to cook them in the same oven. You want to cook them at different times because they cook for different lengths of time. We did the big cupcakes, we set the timer for about 18 to 20 minutes. So you want to make sure to start on the lower end and then add more if you need more. Now there are a couple of ways you can test if they're done. One way I like to see is I like to just push on it. See how it bounces back? That's a good way to tell. There's also the toothpick trick. So you can stick a toothpick inside, and if it comes out clean, then it's done. This has a little bit of stuff on it, but you have to remember that there are chocolate chips in there, and those will stay melted and they will still stick to the toothpick. If they don't bounce, and your fingerprint will just kind of stick in there and stay, so then you know that they're not done yet. Now we want to cool these down completely so it doesn't melt the chocolate frosting that we're going to put on top of them. That will take about 1 to 2 hours. I've got them on a cooling rack to help flow the air underneath and on top so they cool faster. You can also take them out after about 5 minutes and just put them on your cooling rack then, because then they'll cool a little bit faster because the pan still has a little bit of heat in it. So we're gonna let these cool down. Okay, so our chocolate has been in the refrigerator for a little bit, and this has been sitting out. It's gotten a little soft, so we're just gonna warm it up a little bit. And a good way to do that is just to put another bigger bowl of hot water underneath, because you don't wanna melt it. You just want it to be soft, because remember, this is the one that we're gonna dip. So, first of all, let's see if this is actually ready. It might not be ready, and a good way to tell is just to start mixing it. It's actually not quite ready, so we're gonna stick it back in the fridge for just a little bit longer. And while this is in the fridge, we're gonna work on this chocolate. Okay, so I have a big bowl full of warm water here, and I'm gonna sit this chocolate inside. It's gotten a little bit hard. You wanna soften it up a little bit, but make sure you don't get any of that water inside. See, it's already getting softer, melting a little bit. Chocolate melts really easy. So it just needs a little bit of heat. Okay. Now we're just gonna put it inside. Dip it and pick it up. Look how pretty that is. It's got that nice shiny top to it. It has a little peak. If you don't like that peak, you can just do that, get rid of it. And it's really pretty. If you wanted to put some sprinkles on it or whatever you wanted, it would work great. Let's try a big one, like this one.
That came out weird.
Okay, and that's fine. Look, what we can do is we can just use this and smooth it out a little bit.
Wow.
And it's great. Okay, do you want to put some sprinkles? I've got red sugar ones or jimmies, pink jimmies. Okay, we'll just do some. Oh look, I love the contrast. I love how the chocolate looks with that pink. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
You gonna try red? Why don't you go for it? Okay. So I actually stuck this in the freezer for a little bit, and look, now it's really thick, and that's exactly what we want. So we're gonna whip it again. Did you see how it didn't look like a lot of chocolate before? And now, once we whip it, it just adds so much. It gets bigger. Now this one we want to keep away from that hot water as much as possible, because we want it to be cool, because it keeps that thick, rich, whipped texture. So we have a big pastry bag. Again, you can use a Ziploc bag if you don't have anything, and you just want to put a big star tip in. All of these have a number on them. If you look at them really closely, this is a 1M from Wilton. So it's a star, and you just stick it in. You can put a big coupler in if you want to, if you have one of those. If not, just a Ziploc bag, but you do need a star tip if possible. They really only cost about $1. We'll have a link to one of those on our website if you wanted to find one there. Okay, so you just put it in. You can use a cup if you want to put this in a cup, so you don't have to make a mess. Now I don't want to fill this bag too much, because our hands are warm and it melts that chocolate a little bit, so you just want to put a little bit at a time. Okay. And get rid of any air bubbles. Practice a little bit first. Okay, now watch. With a little one, I'm just going to go around and bring it up. What do you think? And then with these ones, just the same. Look at that. And that's just with chocolate and cream. It's really cool. What's really yummy with these cupcakes is that if you let them sit overnight. So if I needed them today, I would have made them yesterday. We actually need them today, so we're not gonna let them sit overnight, but that's something that makes them taste a lot better. Okay, well, we were doing some and we went to get more. Look, this is what happens. It gets so hard. So this is when you do want to add it into that warm water bath that we have the other chocolate in. So we're gonna put the bowl, because we have a wide bowl, take that chocolate out and we can sit this one right inside, and it's just barely getting it warm in there. And then we're gonna use our mixer and we're gonna mix it up just to heat it up a little bit because it got hard. Okay, we're all done. We got them all frosted and we put some pink jimmies on there to make them look all cute because it's a girl's birthday party, and we're all ready. I hope you guys learned how to make cupcakes and that you can do it on your own now and you can have fun doing it. They taste so good, and if you have too many, just put them in the freezer and save them for later because they taste so good and they stay good. If you want the full recipe, visit our website at halfpintcooking.com and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. It is smoking in here.
Oh, that was something with my nose.
Okay, we want to bring that chocolate down. Oh, ooh. So.